Hello there ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a GW2 Online PvP match commentary. So today we are following a Guardian being played by Blood Ronin for the team Flying Pink Ponies against Heroes Ascent on the Battle of Kyhlo. So now we've broken down what's going to happen. We're going to get to start the match. So we're seeing a fairly standard split here from the red team. 3 players heading towards the enemy team's courtyard to engage against them there. 1 player heading to the clock tower and 1 player heading to the windmill. Those players in the courtyard can come and assist us if we need it. It looks like the blue team are making a slightly different tactic. They're sending no one to the clock tower and they're going to push towards the windmill quite hard. Try and go for the 2 outside points. Not really a good tactic, I would say. I think on this map you definitely want the central point as well as one of the side ones. The side points are just so hard to control, especially the one nearest your team, the other team's spawn, because they can get back onto it so quickly after they die. Yeah, definitely very hard to capture that point. Mesmer coming up against us now for Heroes Ascent. Of course, the Mesmers are a very tricky class to fight against because they can summon up the clones you're seeing there, hitting us with a Chaos Storm, applying a range of conditions, and then Moa birding us. So we're now a giant chicken, and like a chicken, we're going to cross the road and run away. Sorry, that was an appalling joke. But we're going to get back into the fight. So we're running back up. You want to time it quite well, as this player's managed to do. That as the Moa bird fades, you want to be getting straight back into the game. You don't want to be running just directly away. You want to sort of start running back a little bit. But there's no point in trying to actually fight as a giant chicken. So with the assistance of Will the Sniper, we seem to be holding down this point fairly well. We've got a Thief, however, now coming in for Heroes Ascent, so we're going to get a 1v1 against him for a moment. Hitting him there with Chains of Light, trying to bind him in place. Seems to be running some sort of Venom build, which is a little bit unusual, seeing as he's also got a sword rather than the dagger. Normally it's like a pistol-dagger combination. This player seems to be running a sword. Summoning in the Thieves Guild to assist him. This, of course, can cause massive issues with the Venom builds because they can share the Venoms to the Thieves, which can stack up some serious immobilization and poison on you, which can definitely cause some problems because it can reduce your healing, as well as obviously binding you in place. Great use there of our elite skill, the Tomb of Courage, which is basically you don't want to use the 1, 2 and 3 skills, they suck. In the Tomb of Courage you want to use the 4, which to daze all the targets around you, which gives them a 3-second daze, which is very strong, and then combine that with the number 5 to basically heal yourself and all your teammates around you back up to full HP. Fighting against a warrior up now. We've got a bit of trebuchet fire coming in for both teams. It seems the red team's trebuchet is doing more damage though. It is in a better position. And there we are. We've got 3 players now down from the blue team, and the reds are just able to clean on up. Scores pretty much neck and neck at the moment, but now it looks like the red team are going to get those extra kill points and manage to capture the central point. If they could hold on to that for a while, they'll definitely come out on top for the short term. Seeing more trebuchet fire coming in, that's basically just from our own teammates, which is why it's not knocking us down. The trebuchets are such an important part of this map, you really do want to make sure you're effectively controlling them. Just a couple brief words about this build. So we've got the Signet of Resolve as our heal, Smite Condition as our very first utility skill, remove a condition and damage nearby foes, more damage the more conditions you remove. So obviously this is very strong against professions like necromancers or mesmers, which can apply a lot of conditions. It's great against them. Judge's Intervention, this is a fantastic skill. You can teleport to your target and burn nearby foes. In fact, you can actually use this to jump through walls and stuff like that. If you're actually outside of the clock tower and you target a player who's running inside of it, you can trigger it to jump right up inside from, like, let's say, the courtyard area or over near one of the other capture points. As long as you're within range, you will clear the space. Stand Your Ground, giving us a 5-second stability boon every 30 seconds to nearby allies as well. Of course, it also gives you retaliation, so it's absolutely fantastic boon. It's so powerful. Tomb of Courage finishing off our utility skills, and that's making our elite skill there. Just generally scouting at the moment. Obviously, if you're not being engaged by the enemy, what you want to be doing is checking out what's going on to tell your team. But we are now being engaged against an engineer. Trying to get a knockback in there with our number 5 skill. The number 4 skill grants us some protection to help us survive the damage a little bit better. Obviously, that is what the Guardian is built to do. It's built to soak up damage very effectively. Engineer there making a supply drop in to try and keep himself alive. But yeah, the red team are just bringing that critical mass. They've got the assistance of Will the Sniper up here, and the 2v1. You've got no chance of winning in this game. It's very difficult. Sorry, you don't have no chance of winning a 2v1. But against competent players, especially when one of them's a Guardian, it's just too hard to bring one down. If they're playing a support build Guardian, it's just too difficult. And of course, you need to actually be able to finish one of the players off. Which is sort of the biggest issue, I think, in winning 2v1s in this game, is you need to try and finish one of the players off, which of course makes you useless for 3 seconds while you channel the ability. So a solid lead being brought out now by Flying Pink Ponies. They're extending it now up to nearly a 100-point lead, which is definitely giving them a great advantage. So about the weapon choices for this build, we'll take a brief look at that. We've got the Scepter and Shield. This of course gives us the knockback on the 5 I said about before. The number 4 skill to do a bit of AoE damage and grant ourselves and allies protection. Number 3 skill is Chains of Light. This basically binds a target in place, and you're seeing that being triggered there. Combined with the number 2 skill is very effective. Basically you just see the standard combination being burnt out there. This is the Thief coming back up and the Warrior coming back up there for Hero's Ascent. We're getting hit by 100 blades, which is a very strong skill, being forced to use our elite to heal back up and daze the targets around us, as we discussed earlier. Great bit of area of denial there with that knockback from the the shield number 5 skill. It is what the Guardian really excels at, is area of denial with those knockbacks, and especially the line of warding abilities they have on like the hammer, and they can also set utility skills to give them line of warding. They can really deny players the area of the map they want to get into, which is the main reason why Guardians are used on the central point of this map, because it is such a tight confined space. They can really come into their own. Great little pull there against that Thief, actually. That was absolutely fantastic. Hitting with the AoE just to drag him back in, keeping him off the central point for a couple of seconds. Mesmer coming back up. This is the same one we fought earlier in the game. Dropping number 2 skill, trying to get a good target on them. For when you're fighting Mesmers, I really do advise calling out the target. They sort of changed the system a little bit, but still it does help to just stick a little bit of a target over their head. Now it seems that it does drop the target occasionally, but of course if it's up and there are other Mesmers around, at least it tells your teammates, sorry, other clones around, it tells your teammates what's going on a little bit better. So that Warrior's come back up now. We've got some sort of serious lag spike going on by the look of it. Of course, the game has only been out a short while, and we do still have the occasional little bit of lag. I've got to say, actually, it has been a fantastic launch. I know that, of course, some people will massively disagree with me, but from my perspective, I've not had a single problem, except for a couple of random people trying to log into my account, but it did manage to block it quite well with the authenticator sort of thing they've got via email, which is quite useful, I think. So yeah, back to the game. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked into talking about my own experience. I am just really loving the game at the moment. Trying to do a little bit of scouting once again now here. We've got 150 point lead, so we're just dragging that lead out by holding down those 2 points. Looks like the trebuchet's down for the blue team as well, and they're not repairing that anytime soon. Red team's trebuchet is down as well. I should add into that, so both teams are currently missing their treb. Now heading over towards the windmill, we basically need to make a good capture on this point. It seems we're getting damaged pretty hard. Coming out, that's the great use of that number 5 skill there. I found absolutely brilliant good fun having the sword combined with the shield, because you could jump in with the number 2 sword skill, combine that with the number 5 and just knock everyone out of a capture point. 3v1 now uphill, perhaps 2v1. It's a little bit hard to tell. I think I did see a FIFA around here earlier. Yeah, I think that is a 3v1, but basically we're duking out against these players, but you can just see the Guardian really having such great sustain. Even though our utility skills were being burnt off and we didn't have our elite out, we still managed to survive so well. Bringing down the engineer there. Mesmer's at about half HP, and we're able to now heal up all our teammates. Got some support coming in. It seems the central point is being contested a little bit at the moment, while we're over here fighting, getting hit by the mower ability once again. But well played there from the red team, just able to clean up now. The Mesmer can also summon up clones in the downstate to basically distract you, so you try to finish off one that isn't really it. This is what you just saw a minute ago, why you saw a Mesmer die without it really dying, if that makes sense. Heading now back towards the clock tower. Try to take a nice little shortcut. This is a fantastic shortcut to bear in mind that you can use. See how faster that is than running all the way around to the clock tower, already back up in the fight, and able to get in there, dropping off a number 5 skill. Not going to affect the Guardian up here, however, though, because they have stability because they're in their elite skill. So that was kind of a bit of a waste there. I'm not sure if the player noticed that was up. Hitting them there with Chains of Light, trying to stop that warrior from moving around, but the warrior does have such great movement abilities, they can break it fairly easily. Bringing them down, I mean, fantastic done. That was very well played. Team we got off RF from our team has come to join us. Developed, basically helping to bring down this warrior and guardian combo. So it looks like the red team are going to take the victory in just a few seconds while they finish off these players. So really a fantastic game, I think. A great way to start us off. We're looking for more PvP commentaries, of course, and if you get multiple point of view games, that's even better. We really want some action like that. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it.